Come into a comfortable seat, whatever support you're on. It's really good to be on something. Sitting directly on the floor can be very challenging for our bodies. So let's have a little support underneath us and take a moment to just drop your awareness and your attention into your body. Of course, there might be times when you try to run away from your body for so many reasons. So, if you struggle with staying present, if you struggle with any sort of disassociation for any reason, let's see if we can challenge ourselves to stay. And that we might get farther along in the path if we just stay put, if we allow for presence and let whatever is arising moment by moment be here. So scan your body, take stock with how you are today. Allow your shoulders to soften, allow your spine to grow. See if you can feel as though your shoulder blades are sliding down, and let's lift turn your hands upward toward the sky and just open your hands out to the sides for a moment. Bend your elbows so that you can feel the orientation of an open heart and your shoulder blades kind of supporting that open heart. And then you can relax the arms down, but see if you can keep the spaciousness across the heart and collarbones, the support of the back body. Lose your rigidity while maintaining the openness. Melt through your face. Any tension patterns that creep, 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 see if you can let them soften. Notice your breath. Is there anything binding your breath? Is there anything preventing you from having fluidity in the breath or fullness in the breath, both the inhale and exhale? Imagine that plumb line from your crown to your tail. So let yourself align in this way. See if you can feel that it's not just a physicality of alignment, but an energetic alignment as well. Right, let's place the hands together at the heart and bow into your practice, offering an intention. What's here? What do you need? And then let's relax the hands and find our way onto our back. So as you lie down, take a moment in that horizontal position, maybe put your feet on the ground to just once again notice the alignment in your body. How does gravity, changing directions, how does it shift how you feel being horizontal versus vertical? All right, and then stretch your arms overhead and start to reach. Maybe a little yawn comes into the body or a little squeeze comes into the body. So follow the natural impulses. Let's stretch the left leg and stretch the right leg and feel the openness in your armpits, left and then right. Just feeling any bit of opening that feels good. And then bring the knees into the chest and give yourself a hug and rock a little bit, swaying from side to side. All right, let's open the knees away from the midline and bring them back toward the midline. And just notice the range of motion that's available in your hip joints right now. Then let's come into a happy baby pose. So grab onto your feet and rock a little bit. It can be very gentle. You don't have to push your feet way down, but you can just kind of dole out the pose for your back. Feel free to rock a little bit left and right. Bring the knees back in toward the chest, and let's circle a little bit and just feel into your sacrum, your SI joint here, what's available for a sense of ease. Can you relax in your hip joints as much as possible? And then let's circle the other direction. All right. And let's go ahead and take Superbadakhanasana just for a moment. Soles of the feet together. Just allow the rotation of your hips to happen. Stretch your arms overhead if you can. Feel a reach in your body. Breathe into the deep low belly. And then relax and bring your knees back in together. Pick up your head, knees into your chest. Give a hug. And then release open to a star. Spread your wings wide. Exhale, drawing it in. Inhale. Spreading out. Exhale, drawing it in. All right, we're going to put the head down, cross your right thigh over your left thigh, and draw the knees toward the chest. And just begin to awaken through the hip. Keep your head as neutral as you possibly can. Let your shoulders relax. Open up the outer hip a little bit here. Breathing well, let your sit bones widen. And then legs straight up in the air, arms overhead. Flex and point your toes to start to wake up your core here. Roll your ankles while you're up here in the sky with your feet. Just kind of waking up a lot of those soft tissues in our feet. And then bring your knees back into the chest, chin up. Inhale, spread open wings. Exhale, knees into your chest. Put your right foot down on the ground, left thigh over right thigh. Draw your knees toward your chest. And remember, you can hold your knees or a single knee. You can hold your shins. You can even walk your hands down to your feet, depending on how your range of motion in your hip joints are. Relax the shoulders and your head down. Drop the tail, breathing well. All right, and then release that one more time. Legs come up. This time, keep your arms down at your sides. And we're going to slowly, I'm going to run into a piece of furniture, so I can't do this the whole way, but slowly lower your legs, straight legs, down to the ground. If at any point you need to bend your knees for support, you do that. All right, and then relax on the floor for a moment. And then let's go ahead and bring your right knee into your chest. Left leg comes long on the floor. Good squeeze in your hip joint. And then let's switch sides. Left knee in, right leg long on the ground. And then a couple of times, moving a little faster. So just waking up the core of your body a little bit more. Breathing well. All right, and then right knee stays into the chest, left leg long. We're going to cross it over for a twist. Now, this twist is a little deeper, so let's be very mindful that you don't have to go very far. Open up through your chest. Breathing across your pectoralis major and minor muscles in your chest. Reach into your hand, spread out your palm. And then come back to center. Switch sides, left knee in, right leg long. Cross the left leg over to the right. Spread open your wings here. See if you can feel the sweep from your sternum out to your fingertips. Breathing. Try not to go too deep in your twist. You don't want to overtax the spine too much. Head is heavy. And then relax and roll back onto your back, knees into your chest. Rock around just a little bit. Spread open your wings. And exhale, knees into your chest, rolling over onto your side and coming up onto your hands and your knees. All right, let's start with some cat-cows. And enjoying, so we've warmed up a little bit, but let's continue the feeling of just getting to know how your body is today. So remember, your practice, the goal is not to really, maybe the goal is to not have any goals, right? But to just be in the present moment. Maybe that's the goal, to just be in the present moment. So try to let go of, I should do this, or I could do this, or I will do this, and just be in how the body wants to unfold in your practice. And then let's move around. So feel free to wag your tail. Feel free to circle your pelvis. Feel free to move around and circle your rib cage. Let your shoulders invite some movement, and your head too. Then settle back towards child's pose. Walk the hands farther forward. So feel into that deep stretch in the arms. Let your head relax. Full breaths. Now, if you can, put your elbows on the ground. If they don't reach the ground, put your elbows on blocks. And then we're going to drop our thumbs toward our spine. Try not to release the armpits and let them sink. A little loft under the armpits. Stretch through your triceps. A big breath in. A long breath out. Notice what's arising moment by moment. Unfolding your practice, unfolding the body. Let's go ahead and find our way back onto all fours. Move your spine around whatever way is feeling nice to do so. As you're ready, find your way up to a dog pose. Okay. Feel free to move around here. We're moving our feet, we're moving our hands. Just come into a place where your body is saying yes. Okay. So what does that mean? When you ask, can you yield a little bit more? Does your body say yes? What does yes feel like? When you ask your body to lengthen, is the answer there for you? And what does it feel like? Breathing well. So let's try to remember that the breath is the glue of our practice. It's the medium we swim in. All right, walk your feet forward. Come into Tanasana. Keep the head neutral. Grab onto the base of the skull with the heel of your hands and an ever so slight tuck of your chin toward your chest. Let the back body open up. Your knees are nice and bent. And then release your hands. Maybe your hands come on blocks for a halfway lift. Maybe you hold your legs, lengthen through your spine. Reach into your feet, spread out the bones, thigh bones back, sit bones high. Find your breath. We're hanging out here for a moment. Okay. Feel free to open up your feet. You can even lift and spread your toes. And then go ahead and melt and fold. Rising up. Bringing the arms to the sky, a big open chest, lean back. If it feels nice, cactus, open the arms. And then exhale and round the spine, chin to chest, forearms to touch. Inhale, rise up, grab onto the left wrist with the right hand. And we're gonna come over to the side, just feeling that side body. You can separate your feet a little bit more if you need. Feel into that length. And then come back to center, grab onto the other wrist, up and over to the left you go. Feel the side body stretch, root into the feet. And then release that in a big cactus, and then lower your hands down and go ahead and give your arms a shake. All right, now shake your body a little bit. You can jump if you want to. You can just kind of bounce and move. You can lift up one foot and shake. Okay, you can shake your arms. You can wiggle your body. You can swing from side to side. Just let it be a little bit of movement here where you're just letting your body kind of find whatever it wants. Now close your eyes and feel your feet. Find dynamic stillness. So we might not be moving like we just were, but there's some movement on the inside. There's grounding and yielding. There's that energetic alignment that we're searching for. There's the feeling of trying to be free in our breath, opening ourselves up to our breath. Melting places that might hold tension. All right, take a breath. Lift your arms up to the sky. And then exhale and float forward. Relax your spine. Halfway lift, spine grows again. Exhale and melt. Let's step back to dog pose. A big full spine here. A big full breath here. When you're ready, come forward into a plank. Stay here. Stretch your heels back. Stretch your sternum forward. Feel those shoulder blades, just like we did when we were sitting. Feel the support of your shoulder blades. Engage through the 360 nature of your core, so wrap around your torso. Stay with the breath and feel the swell of your inhale through your rib cage. All right, put your knees down if you need to. Come down to the ground, some shoulder rolling here. Just find that sense of openness. And then as you're ready, lift up to a Cobra Pose. A big open breath and come down on your exhale. Let's try again. Rising up. Melting down. Third time, you can change your arm position if you want. And then exhale and release. Come up onto all fours. Once again, move your spine about, wag your tail. Release any tension in your spine, your ribs. Back to child's pose. Once again, if you need to, put your forearms on blocks or elbows on blocks, thumbs toward your spine. Open up your triceps, let the armpits lift just a bit. And then release your hands back. We're going to take our forearms onto the ground and lift up to dolphin pose. And so feel the efforting in your shoulders. Lift your heart toward the pelvis. Lift your sit bones, your femur bones. Thigh bones go back as well. Feel that you can be supporting by yielding. So yield and then push off the ground. Keep your neck neutral. And as you're ready, walk back to a forearm plank. Stabilize the core. Breathing well. Remember, you can always put your knees down if you want to. Keep the neck in a neutral position. The shoulders draw back. That support of your core wrapping around you. All right, so find your legs down onto the ground. Come onto your pelvis and lift your chest. Forearms are still here. Breathing well. All right, and then relax. Melt that. Come up onto all fours and move your spine about. You can always take fists onto the ground if you need it. Right leg coming straight back behind you. Let's pulse this leg a few times. So feel that integration of your glutes and your hamstrings working as one. Just pulse your leg as a whole unit. Engage your core. Find your breath in, and as you exhale, knee comes to your chest. Inhale, bring that leg back. Exhale, knee to your chest. One more time. Knee to your chest. Reach the leg out. Pulse a couple of more times. And then place that knee down onto the ground. Step back on your heels and shake out your wrists. Then put your hands back down. Spread out the hands so the four corners of your hands are supporting you. You can always make fists on the ground or forearms on blocks. Left leg straight back behind you. Engage your core to help you support. Feel your glutes and your hamstrings become one. And then pulse your leg a few times, lifting, lifting, lifting. The whole leg is a solid unit. Straight leg, stretch your heel away. All right, when you're ready, exhale, knee into your chest. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale. One more time, reach it out. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale back. Pulse a few times here. Just feel into that integrity. Relax back. Come back into child's pose. Let your glutes stretch a moment. Feel free to shake out your wrists or roll your wrists around. Open, close your fists. All right, find your way into a dog pose. A long, spacious spine. The left leg is going to lift high. Same thing we just did. Pulse the leg a few times. And then as you're ready, open up. Stack hip over hip if you can. Try not to collapse in the armpits. And then square the hips. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, bring that back. Bring your foot forward to a lunge. Hands can come up onto blocks if you need or want. Feel the hip flexors of that back leg open. Place your knee down and open it a little bit more. Breathing fully. Breathing deeply. Okay, let's lift the knee. Start to bend and straighten the front leg. Find your breath. Your breath is the movement. All right, so crescent lunge. Ground your legs. Rise up. Bring your arms first, if you can, up to the sky. And just feel the beautiful openness of this pose. There's grounding and spaciousness. Feel both. All right, now we're going to bring our hands, palms up, elbows close to the rib cage. All right, and then open up out to the sides. Feel the chest broaden. Lift the heart, spread the collarbones. Feel that integrity of the back of your shoulders. Breathing well. And reach your arms out to the sides, scoop it up, and then place the hands down onto the ground. Walk your back foot forward. Fold, release your neck. A halfway lift here, spine is growing. Let the backs of your legs and your glutes stretch open. Exhale and relax. We're going to go backwards through that. Take your left foot forward, right foot back. Come up into a crescent lunge on this side. Bring your arms up in the air. Enjoy. So notice we haven't done those warm-up poses on this side, so notice the difference. Ground into your front heel. Open the hip flexors of that back leg. And then when you're ready, let's bring our arms down. Palms start facing up in front of you, and then open them out to the sides. Feel the rib cage stay integrated. Knit the floating ribs into the body. Slight lift of the pubic bone. You can bend the back knee a bit if you need. Press into your front heel. How's your breathing? And one more time if you want to. You could reach the arms up and then place the hands down onto blocks or your leg. Let's straighten and bend the front knee. Move with your breath. Allow your glutes and your hamstrings to stretch on that front leg as you straighten it a bit. Allow your hip flexor of the back leg to straighten or to lengthen when you bend your front knee. Stay in the rhythm of your breathing. All right, let's go ahead and place the back knee down. Open up through your chest. Feel the hip flexor on this side open. Remember, your practice, you can stray on your own path whenever and for as long as you want. It could just be the simple way you modify each pose. And it could be like, no, I don't feel like doing this pose at all, and I'm going to choose a different way. Let's go ahead and place our hands down onto the ground. Lift that left leg high in the air. Stack open the hip when you're ready. Breathing well. And then square the hips. Knee to your chest. All your air out. Inhale, lift that leg again. Pulse your leg a couple times. Feel the fullness of that strength. And then place your foot down onto the ground. Relax your neck. Come forward into a plank. Feel your breathing. Put your knees down when you're ready. Hands come down next to you. Palms are facing the floor. Lift your arms so engage your triceps and the back of your shoulders. And then integrate through your core. And then start to lift your legs and your torso up. Your core is engaged, your neck is soft. Feel your arms work. Drop your shoulder blades. Full breaths. All right, and then melt. Come down to the ground. Put your hands underneath your head. And go ahead and rock a little bit. Releasing your spine, a little bit of sway left and right. All right, come back up onto all fours or back to child's pose, whatever feels good in your body. And eventually you can, and if you want to, we've been on our hands a lot, if you want to skip a dog pose, just come on up to stand or come back into dog pose. Have a breath there and meet, that's all, meet standing. All right, so find the breath here. Ground yourself into Shavasana. A full inhale and a complete exhale. Palms are up. Open your arms out to the side. Feel the work of the shoulder blades. And we're going to go back and forth with this. Just like we often, do some movements in a back and forth kind of thing with our legs. Let's find it in our shoulder blades here. So one thing to pay attention to is how imbalanced or balanced you feel left and right in the sensations of the back side of the shoulders. All right, now once you have your hands out, let's lift your palms all the way out to the sides. Drop your fingertips toward the ground. So stretch open your palms. Breathing well, and then we're going to lift your arms all the way up to the sky. Reach your arms, lengthen through your side bodies. Find your breath, and then back we go. Arms out, shoulders down, palms up. And now we're going to turn our palms out, stretch toward the walls next to you, fingertips up toward the sky, shoulder blades down the back. All right, and then release the hands. Give them a good shake here. Interlace your hands behind your back. Hug the shoulder blades toward each other now. Let them relax toward each other. Open the chest and come forward. Bend your knees. Let your arms move away from the spine. Dangle your head. Stretching the front side of your shoulders now. Keep the neck neutral and soft. All right, relax the hands down. Shake and shimmy the hips. A halfway lift. Release down, drop your seat, lift up through your chest, and come up to stand with your legs wide. Bring your arms out, flip your palms open. So feel the shoulder blades drop down, and then turn your hands, but only your hands, So you're maintaining the eyes of your elbows up toward the sky, and you have that sense that the shoulder blades are dropping. Turn your foot, right foot out, find your breath, and come into Virabhadrasana 2. All right, so a lot of work to just stay here. See what you can do, align the spine. We're gonna move a little bit. So drop that arm down onto your leg, reach into your side ribs, open up. And then exhale, elbow on your knee, arm stretches over your head. Feel the length in your whole side body. Take your thigh bone back a bit. Okay, and then back up to your reverse warrior. We're just gonna stay in some movement here. And then back to Superbadakhanasana, arm overhead, grounding through your 2 legs. And then rise up again, straighten your leg for a moment, arms come out to the sides, and then release your arms down. Palms come up in front of you, bring your arms out to the side and return to Virabhadrasana. Feel the work of the back side of the body. Support with your core, knit the ribs in, ground through your 2 feet. Finding the breath. And then inhale, straighten your arms. And then let's turn to the other side. So let's start with your palms down, fingers out, and then flip. See if you can flip your whole shoulder so that your palms flip open. The external rotation happens in your shoulders, the chest broadens, and then only turn your hands down. So you keep your shoulders in this place and then stretch into the pose. Drop your weight into your feet. Melt. So a lot of times in our arms, when we're focusing a lot on the shoulders, we creep up, drop the shoulders down away from the ears. Drop into the legs. Find your breath. Deep inhale and an exhale. Let's reverse the warrior. Open things up. All right, and then come into Parasvanasana, the arm overhead. Feel into the length of your body. Breathing well. Stay put in your legs, ground them. Move a little bit more. Inhale to your reverse warrior. Have a breath here. And then exhale into your Parasvanasana. Beautiful breath. Rising on up. Straighten your legs for a moment. Let's go ahead and come back into Virabhadrasana 2. And then we're going to bring our hands, elbows in, palms facing up. Then open up the arms out to the hands, out to the sides. Keep the elbows bent, shoulders down the back, ground through both your legs. Breathing well. All right, let's straighten the leg, turn the feet forward. Find your breath. Arms come up. Elbows come down and in. Turn your feet out just a little bit. Come to a goddess. Open up the arms out to the sides. Feel the chest broaden. Round evenly through your legs. Feel free to move a little bit if you want to. Put a little weight in your hands. And then inhale, arms up, straighten your legs, turn your feet forward and come down to rest. Hands on ground, hands on blocks, head down wherever you naturally go. Thigh bones move back, shin bones forward. Breathe into the fullness of your chest. Relax your neck. We'll heel toe our feet in till we're coming to stand. Okay, so bend your knees for a moment, let your hips relax, and then we'll rise up. Okay. Standing on your right leg, grab onto your left thigh. Now you can hold on to some support if you need this. Let's just stretch our quad for a moment, so just enjoy the feeling of dropping the knee toward the ground. Try not to let the knee open up to the side. See if you can keep that integration. And then when you're ready, reach that arm up. We're going to tip forward a little bit here. Find the breath. Doesn't matter how far you go. Remember those glutes and hamstrings on that standing leg being one unit. Keep your neck soft and relaxed. And then come back up. Bring the elbow in, palm up, turn it out to the side. Open the chest. And then let's release that foot down onto the ground. Shake your ankles, you can wiggle, do whatever you need to kind of release that posture. And then ground your foot. You're gonna pick up the other leg. Now you can use a strap around your foot. You can put your hand on the wall. There's so many ways to support you in this pose. Try not to lean your hip off to the side like this. Try not to lean your knee out like this. Try to integrate into that center line as best as you can. Arm up. So enjoy the feeling of stretching your quad. Find your breath. And then we're going to kick forward. It doesn't matter how far into the posture you go. Just be where you are. Find your breath. Keep your neck relaxed. Use your glutes and your hamstrings on that standing leg as one unit. All right, slowly come back up. Bring your elbow down. Palm out to the side. Feel the support of your chest opening. And then release that foot down onto the ground. Inhale. Two arms up. Fold forward. Relax your neck. A halfway lift. Get your spine to grow. Melt down again. Step back to dog pose. The spine is long and spacious. Spread out your hands and your feet. Enjoy. What do you love about being in your breath and being in your body, pose by pose? Come forward into a plank. Full breaths here, shoulder blades down the back. Find the earth with your torso. Roll the shoulders back. Palms are facing the ground. Over the palms off the floor and lift into the strength of your back. Exhale and melt down. We're going to add the legs. So when we come into a full back body pose like this, we need to balance with the core. So start with an engaged core. And then when you're ready, lift the legs, however far apart they want to be. Elbows down toward the hips. Lift your chest. Feel the back of your body fully engaged. Cords hugging toward the center. And then exhale and relax. Put your hands underneath your forehead again and rock left and right. Okay, I'm going to give you plan A, plan B. Okay. Depending on your flexibility of your quads and your ability to weight bear on your knee. So right leg comes forward, back knee is on the ground. Okay. We're going to reach back, and you can use a strap for this if you need to. We're going to put our left hand either on a block or on the floor. With your right arm, reach back and pick up your left foot and come into a twist and a very deep quad stretch. Now, if that's too much for you, then try lying on your side, grabbing onto your knee and coming into a quad hip flexor stretch here. So the benefit of coming into the pose, kneeling, if your body's able to, because I know that's not for everybody, is that you get both your quadriceps to stretch and your hip flexors. So just do what you're able to do, breathing well. Release and relax. And go ahead and find a neutral pose before we go to the other side. So you can be rolling over onto your other side to grab your other foot if you're on your side, or if you're doing this pose, bring your left foot forward, right knee is now down onto the ground. Your right hand could be on a block or on the floor. Left arm reaches behind you and grabs onto your foot. You can wrap a strap around your ankle if the foot's too far away. Drop the shoulder blades. Notice the ribs, drink them in. Press your front heel into the ground. How's your breath? Enjoy the open chest. And find your way out of there one more time, back to a child's pose, and let your hips relax. Let's come up onto our shins. If you have a wall handy, you can put your body against a wall. I don't have a good wall handy, but if you do, and then elbows can come back. So just notice if your elbows like to go out. See if you can keep the elbows drawn back. Lift the chest. You can curl the toes under, or you can lay your feet flat. You can reach back toward your heels, or you can come into camel pose with blocks beat next to you and reach back for the blocks. You can also just keep your hands on your hips. So any variation that is supportive for your back. Okay, find your breath. Open up through your chest. Keep your shoulder blades moving toward each other. Breathing well. Let your throat open. Touch your teeth if you can. And then let's come back. And instead of coming down to child's pose, come to sit on your heels. Keep your chest open. Find your breath. Hands come down onto the ground and move your spine. So on all fours, just release the back bend. We're going to do 2 more back bends. So just release what that was about. So you can move on to the next one. Bridge pose. You can do this actively. You can do it passively with a block under your pelvis. You can stick a block between your thighs if you want to have some support doing it actively. However, you're in the mood to do a bridge pose today. Ground your feet, spread out your toes. The 4 corners of your feet are rooting. Lift up, rock onto the tops of your shoulders, and find the fullness, full expression that you have available right now. Keep the neck neutral. Turn the palms. So instead of interlacing your hands underneath you, have your arms down and turn your palms up. All the work we've been doing with this external rotation, continue it. Feel the grounding of your 4 corners of your feet. Keep your neck neutral. Flare open the ribs. Open up the breath. Use your glutes and your hamstrings as one unit. All right, and then melt your pelvis down. If you have a block, take it out. And then let's windshield wiper the knees, left and right. Let your head move in opposition of your knees. As knees go left, head goes right. As head goes left, knees go right. Draw your air out. Melt your body a moment. Now, I'm going to cue Dhanurasana, but if you feel like doing Dhanurasana, like a full wheel, full back bend on the ground, then by all means do a full wheel. These poses, I feel like in some ways working online, our practice opportunities have shrunk because I don't feel comfortable teaching a really complicated pose when I can't see you all. But if you're very familiar with wheel pose and that's something that your body is safe doing, then by all means, your body's warmed up and ready for it. So try a wheel pose. Otherwise, come onto your belly. And we're going to grab either a strap or grab your heels. The strap can go around your ankles if you're using a strap. Now see what it feels like to externally rotate the upper arm bones. Imagine, don't actually do it, but imagine that we were going to hold the other side of the ankle so our palms would be turned out. So see, just like when we did in the standing poses, can you turn the eye of the elbow out? Externally rotate the upper arm bones. Now knit your ribs in. Feel the stability of your pelvis. Engage your glutes. Inhale and rise up. The neck is soft. Find your way into your breath. And come down. Turn your head. Spin your legs left and right. We're going to repeat it one more time. Maybe if you did Dhanurasana and then you're like, oh, I think I could try a wheel pose, then by all means, now is a good time to try a back bend. All right, so second time, grab onto your ankles or a strap, externally rotate the upper arm bones, shoulder blades down, integrate your core, lift up. Keep your knees in line with your hips, maybe a smidge wider, but not turned out real wide. Find your breathing as you go. Keep your neck soft. Enjoy your glutes, your hamstrings working, your back body. And then melt. Turn your head the other way. Spin your feet left and right. All right, take your right leg down on the ground. This is tricky on shoulders, so be very mindful to not go too deep. Take your right arm straight out to the side. We're going to spin open. Put your left foot on the ground behind you, if that goes there, and reach your other arm up in the air. If this is like, whoa, way too much on my shoulder, just back off until you are at a place where your body's comfortable. Okay, come back. Left arm straight out. Pick up your right leg and place it behind you on the ground. Lift your right arm up in the air. And once again, just be in a place for both your spine and your shoulder that is the right range of motion for you. And then relax. Back onto your belly. We're going to lift our left knee high up toward our armpit. Bring the right arm across to the other side of your mat and then open up into a twist. Okay, so enjoy. Spread open your chest. Let the back body open. Let the front body open. And then swing back around. Bring your right knee up high toward your armpit. Cross the left arm to the right side of the mat. Move your blocks out of the way if they're behind you. And then swing open with your arm. Let your knee leave the ground as much as your spine needs for it to do so. Make sure, twisting is really good after back bending, but you want to be very mindful of how supportive you can be. You don't want to go too far. All right, let's come back onto our belly, up onto all fours. Swish about the spine. And find your way into child's pose. You can have your arms down at your sides if you want. Let your back rest. Come onto our back. Bring your knees to your chest and rock. A little bit swaying left and right. Now let's open our hips up a little bit. So either cross your right thigh over your left thigh like we did in the beginning of class, or put your right foot on your left knee for a reverse pigeon pose. Of course, you can make any change to this you want. You can do regular pigeon pose, you can do fire log pose, you can do anything that's going to stretch open your hips that you love. All right, so if you're in reverse pigeon pose, melt, let your head be as heavy as you possibly can let it be. So remember, it's always a nice option if you forget sometimes to have your foot resting on something so that the posture does not need to be supported by your arms. It's such a beautiful way of opening the hips without straining the rest of your body. Go ahead and change sides. Feel into your breathing. Widen the sit bones, a slight anterior tilt to the pelvis, if you can manage it. The head is heavy. Now for the last, little bit here, let's prepare for Shavasana. So once again, scan your body. Is there anything else that's needed to make me feel good in my body? Maybe a happy baby, maybe a twist, maybe a plow pose or a rocking plow, maybe none of the above. Maybe you're just like, oh, I feel good, I want to lie down. So whatever it is that your body's craving, go ahead and listen to the body craves. And then as you're ready, there's no rush at all, but as you are ready, start to find your version of Shavasana. So I'm going to put my legs up on a couch because that feels amazing. Maybe you have a different plan. And take your time. If you're still doing some postures to release your spine, by all means, do some postures to release your spine. Once you are ready to settle, remember that Shavasana is such a gift. So let's not forget to be here now. Slowly begin to deepen your breath again. Beautiful full inhale followed by a full long exhale. Melt the body on your exhale. Invite some movement. It could start small. Maybe turning your head from side to side or rubbing your thumbs on your finger pads. Maybe wiggling your fingers and toes. And then eventually bring your knees to your chest. Give yourself a little bit of a hug. And find your way onto your side. And come up to sit. Let's place the hands together. Let's offer the gift of our practice, our presence with ourselves, our blossoming open in our bodies, our minds, our breath. Let's offer this freedom to another. Namaste. Blessings on the day.